Unit to determination of prices. Introduction. Price of goods express their exchange value. Price are also used for expressing the value of various services rendered by different factors of production, such as land, labor, capital, and organization, in the form of rent, wages, interest, and profits, respectively. Therefore, the concept of price, especially the process of price determination, is of vital importance in economics. In this unit, we shall learn how demand and supply interact to strike a balance so that equilibrium price is determined in a free market. A free market is one in which the forces of demand and supply are free to take their own course, and there is no intervention from outside by government or of any other entity. It is to be noted that generally it is the interaction between demand and supply that determines the price, but sometimes government intervenes and determines the price either fully or partially. For example, government of India fixes the price of petrol, diesel, kerosene, coal, fertilizers, etc., which are critical inputs. It also fixes the procurement prices of wheat, rice, sugarcane, etc., in order to protect the interests of both producers and consumers. While determining these prices, the government takes into account factors like cost of inputs, risks of business, nature of the product, etc. One of the main reasons for studying the demand and supply model in is that the model is particularly useful in explaining how market work. A comprehensive knowledge of the movements of these market forces enable us to explain the observed changes in equilibrium prices and quantities of all types of products and factors. We will be able to anticipate the possible market outcome in real markets by applying the principles underlying the interaction of demand and supply. Business firms can use the model of demand and supply to predict the probable effect of various economic as well as non-economic factors on equilibrium prices and quantities. For example, the market outcome of government's intervention in form of taxes and subsidies, price ceiling and floor prices, etc., can be analyzed with the help of equilibrium analysis. Determination of prices. A general view. In an open competitive market, it is the interaction between demand and supply that tends to determine equilibrium price and quantity. In the context of market analysis, the term equilibrium refers to a state of market in which the quantity demanded of commodity equals to the quantity supplied of the commodity. In an equilibrium state, the aggregate quantity that all firms wish to sell equals to the quantity that all buyers in the market wish to buy, and therefore the market clears. Equilibrium price or market clearing price is the price at which the quantity demanded to a commodity equals to market uh, quantity supplied of the commodity. That is, at this price there is no unsold stock or no unsupplied demand. To analyze how equilibrium price is determined in a market, we need to bring together demand for and supply to the commodity in the market. For this, we have the following schedule. Determination of prices. Price, demand units, supply in units. A serial number. Price 1, demand units 60, supply 5. Price 2, demand 35, supply 35. Price 3, demand 20, supply 45. Price 4, demand 15, supply 55. Price 5, demand 10, supply 65. When we plot the above points on single graph with price on y-axis and quantity demanded and supplied on x-axis, we get a figure as given, as shown below. It is easy to see what will be the market price of the article. It cannot be rupees 1 because at that price there would be 60 units in demand but only 5 units on offer. Competition among buyers would force the price up. On the other hand, it cannot rupees 5, for at that price there would be 65 units on offer for sale but only 10 units in demand. Competition among sellers would force the price down. At rupees 2, demand and supply are equal and the market price will tend to settle at this figure. This is equilibrium price and quantity, the point at which price and output will tend to stay. Once this point is reached, we will have stable equilibrium. Equilibrium is said to be stable if any disturbance to it is self-adjusting so that the original equilibrium is restored. In other words, if the equilibrium be disrupted, the market returns to equilibrium. It should be noted that it would be stable only if other things are equal. Figure 7 will demonstrate how stable equilibrium is achieved through price mechanism or market mechanism. If the market price is above the equilibrium price, say rupees 15, and the market supply is greater than market demand, and there is an excess supply or surplus in the market, competing sellers will lower prices in order to clear their unsold stock. As we know, other things remaining constant. As price falls, quantity demanded rises and quantity supplied falls. In this process, the supply demand gap is reduced and eventually eliminated, thus restoring equilibrium. Likewise, if the prevailing market price is below equilibrium, say rupees 5 in our example, a shortage arises as quantity demanded exceeds and the quantity supplied. The shortage prompts the price to rise as the buyer who are unable to obtain as much of the goods as they desire bid for price higher. The market price tends to increase. Other things remaining the same, the price rise causes a decrease in the quantity demanded by the buyers and an increase in quantity supplied by the seller, and vice versa. The price will continue as long as demand exceeds supply. The market thus achieves a state where the quantity that firm sell is equal to the quantity that the consumer desire to buy. At equilibrium price rupees 10, the supply decision of the firm tend to match the demand decision of the buyer. Thus the equilibrium price is restored automatically through the fundamental working of the market, and price movements eliminate shortage or surplus. Changes in demand and supply. The above analysis of market equilibrium was done by us under the ceteris paribus assumption. The facts of the real world, however, are such that the determinants of demand other than price of the commodity under consideration, like income, taste and preference, population, technology, price of factors of production, etc., always change, causing shift in demand and supply. Such shift affect equilibrium price and quantity. The four possible changes in demand and supply are an increase shift to the right in demand, a decrease shift to the left in demand, an increase shift to the right in supply, and a decrease shift to the left in supply. We will consider each of the above changes one by one. An increase in the demand. In figure 8, the original demand curve of normal good is DD and supply curve is SS at equilibrium price OP. Demand and supply are equal to OQ. Now suppose the money income of the consumer increases and the demand curve shifts to D1 and the supply curve remains the same. We will see that the new demand curve D1 we will see that on the new demand curve D1 at OP price, demand increases at OQ2 while supply remains the same, that is OQ, and there is excess demand in the market equal to Q2. Supply is short of demand, price will go up to OP1. With the higher prices, supply will also shoot up, generating an increase in the quantity supplied or an upward movement along the supply curve. Ultimately, a new equilibrium between demand and supply will be reached. At this equilibrium point, OP1 is the price and OQ1 is the quantity which is demanded and supplied. Increase in demand causing an increase in equilibrium price and quantity. Figure 8. Thus we see that with an increase in demand there is an increase in equilibrium price, as a result of which the quantity supplied rises. As such, the quantity sold and purchased also increases. Second, decrease in demand. The opposite will happen when demand falls as a result of a fall in income while the supply remains the same. The demand curve will shift to the left and becomes D1 while the supply curve remains as it is with the new demand curve D1 at original price OP. OQ2 is demanded and OQ is supplied. As the supply exceeds demand, price will come down and quantity demanded will go up. A new equilibrium price OP1 will be settled in the market where demand OQ1 will be equal to supply OQ1. Decrease in demand resulting in a decrease in price and quantity demanded. Thus, with decrease in demand, there is decrease in the equilibrium price and quantity demanded and supplied. Increase in supply. Third, increase in supply. Let us now assume that demand does not change, but there is an increase in supply, say because of improved technology. Increase in supply resulting in decrease in equilibrium price and increase in quantity supplied. The supply curve SS will shift to the right and becomes S1 at the original equilibrium price OP. OQ is demanded and OQ2 is supplied with new supply curve at the original price. A surplus now exists. As a result, the equilibrium price falls and the quantity demanded rises. A new equilibrium price OP1 will be settled in the market where demand OQ1 will be equal to supply OQ1. And thus, as a result of an increase in supply with the demand remaining the same, the equilibrium price will go down and the quantity demanded will go up. Decrease in supply. Let us now assume that due to absolute technology there is a decrease in supply. In the figure 11, the supply curve SS will shift to the left and becomes S1 at the original equilibrium price OQ is quantity demanded and OQ2 is quantity supplied with new supply curve. At the original price, a deficit now exists. As a result, equilibrium price rises and quantity demanded decreases. A new equilibrium price OP1 will be settled in the market where demand OQ1 will be equal to supply OQ1. Thus, as a result of decrease in supply, we will find that equilibrium price will go up, but the amount sold and purchased will go down as shown in figure 11. Figure 11, decrease in supply causing an increase in the equilibrium price and a fall in quantity demanded.